My name is Andy, the Brit in Hungary. I'm not a builder, I'm a teacher and a former professional pilot, and DIY is normally something I do just for fun. But last year, me and my wife bought a mouldy, decrepit flat in Budapest, and we turned it into 2 luxury apartments all by ourselves. This year, we've decided to do it all over again, and we've just bought ourselves another mouldy old flat to renovate. Haha, greetings, long time no see. I've just finished work. Yes, it's lunchtime, 17th of December, and it's time to do my garden project, although it's just started raining. Oh, and it's cold, it's about 3 Celsius. Oh. So remember this, my Aztec ruin cooking, barbecuing machine? Yep, I've got to put the roof back on and the chimney back on. Oh. So if you ever watched my house building videos, we moved in here about 4 or 5 years ago, and this is the last video is me like doing the garden, and I built this grill when I was doing the garden and fitting the pool and everything. And yeah, I didn't actually design the arch very well, and it was only like 1 brick thick, and the chimney ended up becoming incredibly heavy. And with like the frost cycles, all the mortar was starting to crack, and the arch was starting to sag, and it was transferring the loads kind of sidewards into the side walls, and it was starting to push the side walls out. And yeah, the cracks were getting bigger and bigger to the stage where I could move the bricks. And I woke up like in a panic one windy night, and I imagined that the wind would blow the chimney over and it would like land on the small children next door, and oh yeah. So the next day I climbed up and I demolished the chimney, and I slept much better. And then I was going to sort of rebuild it ready for the summer, but then we bought the flat, you know, and I've been really busy doing that, and I've been wanting to do this for ages, but I've not had the time. And I want to get it done now before Christmas, because there's going to be loads of cooking done on this over Christmas. So I'd like to get the arch built and get a chimney on and get it ready to go again, and I've missed it actually. Yeah, I really missed my little grill in the garden. Yeah, it's been a while since the last update really. I finished flat 2 about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and the previous tenant in flat 1 has moved out. There's a few little repairs to make, mainly due to my sort of shitty DIY rather than like their negligence. So I had a few days fixing that. That's rented out again. Flat 2 was rented out a little bit earlier than we anticipated. It was a bit stressful, but we've got a couple in there from Brazil. They're in there for a month, and then middle of January they're moving out, and we've got the guy who runs the kebab shop on the corner. He's moving in for a year. So yeah, so both flats done, and earning no problems so far. So yeah, everything's going marvellously. That's better. Cleared a bit of the debris away. So yeah, I've got to put another courses of bricks on before I can put the 2 arches on. And I've got to try and start like building the arch. I want to build it a bit stronger than I did last time, and I've got a cunning plan. Well, that's about an hour's work. That'll do. I've got to start sort of going over the top with the arch now, so I need that bit to go hard. But apart from that, I can't feel my fingers, it's so bloody cold. So we've got the concrete sort of support at the back on. We've got this one on the front, and I've just put this brick in just to start off the angle, start the arch, to see how it's going to go. So the mistake I made last time was that the arch was pushing, or the weight of the chimney was pushing the arch so hard it was starting to make the walls sort of splay outwards. So what I'm going to do this time, I've got these, they're like, I think, what are they, like curbstones or something. But what I'm going to do, instead of letting the whole weight rest on the arch, I'm going to lay these across the top from front to back, and have like a brick in between. So it'll be like, well, I'll probably have to cut them in half. So it'll be one of those brick. Yeah, and then sort of do it that way, and that way it spreads the load forwards and backwards on the arch instead of into the walls, pushing it sideways. That's the plan anyway. But yeah, so these things are left over from a project years ago, and I've been dying to sort of find a use for them, and I've finally done it. So yeah, they're a bit too big, so I need them to be 80 centimetres long, which is the length of the cooker, and I'm going to cut them in half, which is about the width of a brick in the arch. Well, that was easier than expected. Oh, good, okay. Right, let's go. Good. There we go, not too bad. So see what I mean? That's that sort of bit of curbing in there, holding everything together. It's all, I can't go any further with the arch, it's all kind of Jenga-like. If I try and put any more on that today, that'll probably fall over. But not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, so so the next thing, tomorrow, when this is a bit less wobbly, is I'm going to put some more of those concrete curbstones in here for the arch, and I've got to leave about 20 centimetres in the middle for the chimney, and hopefully the 20 centimetre gap either side of the chimney will be bridged by a brick with a little wedge cut out of it, so I can just slot those in. But that'll do for today. Not too bad. Hope it's still there in the morning. Excellent, it's still here, it didn't collapse, fantastic. Right, I'll get changed and I'll get cracking. If you compare this to the other videos, you'll notice it's a lot higher. It was about up to here before, and I think that was because I was getting a bit short on bricks, to be honest, when I built it. And the problem is, when it was really short, is you had to sort of cook like bent down and crouched over, and it was really uncomfortable. So I've got plenty of spare bricks now from the flat project, so I've just gone about 3 bricks higher, make it a bit easier to cook. Anyway, only about 3 hours of daylight left, better get cracking. Good, so yeah, what I'll do, I've made this like porridge, so it should go off really quickly. And as soon as that's gone firm, the gaps between these, I'm going to pack them full of like mortar like this, really thick. And then these bits, I'm going to brick. So yeah, I'm just going to cut the bricks into a, what's the word, trapezoidal shape. And they're just going to slot in like that, and I'll leave a little gap in the centre for the chimney, and that's the plan. So I'll have a cup of tea or 3, let that go hard, and then I'll start packing the gaps with the mortar. Bugger, run out of cement. Never mind, that's a pretty good place to leave it today. I'll show you where we got to. Oh God, nearly fell off. Yeah, so we've got those filled in. Yeah, I can just sort of backfill that with some more concrete when I get some, and just tied it up round the front. Yeah, sadly, not enough to do in there, but I'm pleased with that. That's yeah, it's kind of thrown together. It's that rustic look that I kind of like. That's just my excuse for being lazy, actually, but yeah, it's going to look alright, and it's going to be 1,000,000 times stronger than last time. In fact, we could probably use it as a nuclear bomb shelter, I reckon. Good, fantastic. So, yeah, we filled all the gaps with those like parallelogram trapezoidal shaped bricks. Slotted those in, packed the mortar in between, and then we got this 20 centimetre chimney. I was horrified how much that cost. That was like 25-30 quid for that little piece. I think it's a bit too short. It's not going to draw very well, but when I save up a bit, I'll buy probably 1 metre length to stick on the top. Should make it work a bit better. So it's actually Christmas Day. The mortar's had about 3 days to go off, and we're going to be lighting a fire in there very soon and cooking the fish soup. So it's first, I don't know, test run. But I'm very pleased, very, very pleased actually. I've got no idea what it draws like yet, but we'll find out very shortly. Yes, we're ready. Nearly got hypothermia in the process, but it's ready. Bloody hell, finally got it lit. Everything's just so wet. It's been raining for 3 days and it's still raining. And I don't know, yeah, smoke is going, you can't really see, smoke is going out of the chimney. So it's kind of a happy accident because you know, it nearly fell down and, you know, killed somebody. But yeah, it's like, it's much better. It's higher, ergonomically it's much better. Yeah, I feel like I'd like to dip and duck and do stuff to cook, but no, it's just like it's all at eye level. It's perfect. So yeah, it kind of worked out really, really well. Yeah, so I need a big chimney, but no problem. Yeah, I'm very, very happy, very pleased. He says, standing here, half pissed, in the rain, in 3 Celsius. Merry Christmas. Awesome, all good. It's a couple of days later. The weather's improved. And this evening, we're going to be firing it up again, and we're going to be cooking fish and chips. So this time we're not boiling, we're going to be frying. Very versatile. And then in another 2 days' time, we're going to be barbecuing. Fantastic. It's so good to have my machine back. I've just give the brickwork a bit of a clean, and now you can see the awesome craft work and artisan whatever. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so good, all good. Bit of a spanner in the works today is the 31st, New Year's Eve. And I don't know, I think I mentioned it a couple of times before, but we bought a second flat for renovation in Budapest. And the people who were living there, they'd got themselves in terrible financial trouble. They owed money everywhere. And they weren't able to do anything like to sell the place legally until all their debts were paid. And we've tried to be as kind and altruistic as possible, and we've helped them out a lot. We've paid all of their debts to get things, the legal process moving. But they kept coming back and asking us for more and more and more. And you know, like I say, we try to be helpful, but there comes a point where you're leaving yourself open to massive financial risk. And we basically said, sorry, you're on your own. You know, we've done our part. And yes, the relationship has gone sort of down the toilet since then, unfortunately. And we were expecting to have an epic legal battle to get them to leave the property, and you know, honestly, months from now. And we got a phone call yesterday. They want to hand over the keys today at 3 o'clock in Budapest, and it's not terribly good. We're in the middle, we're organising a massive New Year's Eve party at home, and yeah, but we've got to get there and do it. We can't put them off, because if we miss this opportunity to actually get the keys to the place, we'll probably, you know, we'll be stuck for months probably. So yes, we're gonna have to delay our party for a few hours, fly up there, hopefully no problems, get the keys, and then whiz back down here and enjoy New Year's Eve. So yes, weren't expecting that. It's a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, we're quite pleased. We're quite pleased. Piece of cake. No drama at all, actually. I'm absolutely stunned. Yeah, no problems at all. We just turned up, signed a few bits of paper, transferred the last few bits of money, got handed the keys, job done. Absolutely marvellous. So here we go again then. Oof. So what we're going to do with this place? Well, we're not going to make it quite as posh as the last places. This is geared mainly at student accommodation because the university is probably like 300 metres away. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep communal kitchen, communal bathroom, both of which have got to be gutted and rebuilt. And then for these 2 bedrooms, we're going to fit doors closing them off from the communal parts. So the tenant will have their own bedroom, their own living space, but they'll share the kitchen and bathroom with whoever's in the other room. So yeah, so the first thing probably is to fit 2 doors. Then we've got to do the bathroom, obviously, fit a kitchen, and the rooms are pretty much ready to go. They just need, with these old places. I mean, this is like from the late 19th century probably. So there's like 1 plug socket per room. So I'll fit a load more plug sockets, make it a bit more 21st century, and then it's just a question of patching the walls up, a bit of paint, making the place look a bit better, changing all the fittings and stuff, the light fittings, and we should be ready to go. So I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround on this one. In fact, I'm so enthusiastic, I'm here already. I've just moved a few tools back in and bought the measure, and I'm just going around making a few notes, making a bit of a project plan. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, this is going to be a doddle compared with the last one. Anyway, stay tuned. There'll be the first vid on the new flat in about 2 weeks, hopefully. So catch you later.